Today we're gonna whip up an easy, complaint-free dinner. Extra crunchy, oven-baked chicken tenders. This is a dish you can feel really good about serving both the kids and the grown-ups. First, we're gonna cover a super simple way to make sure that there's flavor in every single bite. In a lot of chicken tender recipes, you see the seasoning only in the breading. But for some really good, full flavored tenders, we're gonna make sure that there's seasoning in every single bite. And we're gonna do that by adding salt and pepper to the chicken itself before it goes into the breading. So you'll add 1.5 to 2 pounds of tenders to a medium-sized mixing bowl. You can throw some on the counter if you'd like. And then to the bowl, we're gonna sprinkle over a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Now you're just gonna get them with your hands and give it a really good mix until all of those tenders are nice and coated. And now we can move on to the breading. You're gonna need 3 trays or shallow bowls, and we're just gonna add 1 cup of all-purpose flour to the first tray. You don't have to add any seasoning to that because the seasoning's already on the chicken. To the second tray, you're gonna crack in 2 large eggs, a 1/2 cup of milk, and a couple dashes of hot sauce. This is not enough hot sauce to make your chicken spicy. It's just gonna give it a little extra flavor. Now you're gonna come in and whisk it up really good. There is no other ingredient that can add crunch to oven-baked breaded food like Panko breadcrumbs can. You'll add in 2 1/4 cups plain Panko breadcrumbs, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Just get in there with your hands and mix it up until you see that pepper is evenly distributed throughout the breadcrumbs. Time to dredge. You're gonna add your chicken tenders directly into this flour here. Okay, turn it over, get a nice even coating. And then you wanna make sure that you shake off the excess before you add it to the egg. If you leave too much flour on your tenders, the egg can't stick. And if the egg can't stick, the panko can't stick. Turn them over, give them a really good coating. Just like with the flour, you really wanna make sure that you don't have too much egg mix clinging to the tenders, otherwise your panko won't stick. Okay, now here's where we're gonna get just like a little bit aggressive. You really wanna press these tenders into the panko. So the idea here with getting a bit aggressive with the panko is that the more panko you can get to stick, the crunchier your tenders are gonna be. Time to move some tenders over to the baking vessel. What I'm using here is a rimmed baking sheet equipped with a oven-safe cooling rack. What this rack is gonna do is it's gonna allow air to flow on top of the chicken and underneath the chicken. And this is what's gonna keep those chicken tenders from getting that yucky, soggy bottom. So I'll just move my breaded tenders over here, making sure to leave a little bit of space in between each tender. And this is important because if you cram them all in together, then what's gonna happen is steam is gonna build up between the tenders and they can't get crispy that way. So you really need to allow for just a little bit of space. And if you have to use 2 pans and 2 racks, use 2 pans and 2 racks. One of the keys to even browning is cooking spray. No drizzling of oil. The reason cooking spray is so much better is because it can get into every single nook and cranny of that panko breading, and it can brown evenly all the way across. When you're drizzling oil, you're only hitting certain parts of the chicken, and that means you're gonna have splotches of browning and splotches of white. So we're gonna be super generous. We're not frying, we're saving a lot of fat calories here, so we can just go ahead and start spraying to your heart's content. Now we're gonna turn them, and we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. After you turn them, make any adjustments you need to make sure that that chicken isn't stuck together. Remember, you want a little bit of space around every tender. Now you're gonna put the tenders in the oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 13 minutes. Now you're gonna grab your favorite pair of tongs and you're gonna go in and you're gonna flip the chicken. This way, each tender will get an equal amount of love from the oven, and then pop it back into the oven for an additional 13 minutes. These are looking pretty perfect. You're gonna wanna let them cool just a little bit, maybe like 5 minutes so you don't light your mouth on fire. Let's see if they taste as good as they look. I don't know if I'm gonna share with the family at all, actually. If y'all are in the hunt for more complaint-free family dinner ideas, be sure to check out my kid-friendly recipes playlist next.